MindMed is up by a whopping 65.54% in just one day. This is a company that I've held onto my portfolio for about 6 months, and I've traded it at least twice. I was able to book a profit and invest back at a lower price. I know many of my fellow investors have been holding on to the stock for a while, and I'm glad to say that our patience has finally paid off. But at the same time, if you don't already have the stock in your portfolio, I don't think it's too late. I sold the stock and rebought it later, and this time I don't plan on selling it anytime soon, and it is for a very good reason. Hello YouTube investors, my name is Ankit and welcome to Simply Investing. Today I'll be performing a stock analysis on MindMed, trading under these ticker symbols. And starting April 27th, it'll be available on Nasdaq under the ticker MMED. In this video, I'll be going over what the company does, the recent news surrounding the company, and my prediction on where the stock is headed. As always, if you find this video to be helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. So let's get started. MindMed is a therapeutics company that intends on solving our society's growing incidence of mental and behavioral health conditions using an entirely new approach and a new class of therapeutics, psychedelics. They plan to tackle these issues using two approaches. First, experiential therapies for anxiety, and second, psychedelic-inspired medicines for ADHD and addiction. Now, I don't want to get too much into this as it can get pretty detailed, but feel free to check out their website and I'll leave a link in the description below. When you take a look at the amount of funding Mind Medicine received, it's enormous. Approximately $204 million since inception. The money raised has allowed them to be a leader in the psychedelics industry, at least here in North America. And we can see the results when it comes to their clinical trials, with many of them being in phase 1 or phase 2. This is an incredible feat for a company, especially in this industry. To get an in-depth understanding, why don't we take a look at the company's investor presentation? So here's the most updated presentation slides that we have available on the MindMed website. And so as we go through it, I'll just highlight a few important key points. We can see that MindMed has a very strong and diversified leadership team, which is one of the reasons behind its success, and also the fact that they were able to obtain so much funding through many different seed rounds, as well as they raised money. So really in this slide, we can see that MindMed highlights the market that's available. For instance, anxiety, they say, is almost a $1 trillion market, where about approximately 284 million people are suffering from it globally. And so they provide similar statistics for both addiction and ADHD. They also highlight how the current solutions are not working and the drug that they're proposing in terms of extracting some of the key elements of LSD, which they deem to be a safer solution compared to some of the other drugs that already exist in the market. They have this whole different treatment paradigm that they go over in these slides, and so I'll highlight that later on. Here they also highlight some of the collaboration that they're having with key researchers. These researchers are very well known in their field, and you can see that most of the research is actually taking place in Europe. And here's the treatment paradigm, the whole discover, develop, and deploy strategy. And the entire slide is actually based on this notion itself. Here we have some of the clinical trials that are currently going on, and you can see that many of them have made it well past their preclinical research stages, and even the phase 1A stage. So right now we can see that the LSD experiential therapy, which is one of their signature therapies that they're offering, has actually moved on to phase 2 of the trial. Similarly, we have 18-MC and LSD microdosing studies. You can hear more about this on their website itself. And here we have the MindMed Discover studies, which is mostly their research and development, also known as the R&D area. And so the rest of their presentations really focused on the drug trials and their findings. Many of them, to be honest, even I'm not able to understand, except for maybe the LSD experiential therapy. And as a healthcare worker, I do understand some of the positive impacts of it if true. So hopefully, if this does get approved by the FDA and possibly here in Canada by Health Canada, then I do think that there's a huge market for it. So the next couple of slides, they just go over their clinical trial and the progress that they're having. So let's skip over these slides and we go on to the discovery section of the paradigm. And this is where they report what their findings are, how they're progressing, what they need to achieve next. And next we have deploy section of the paradigm. And we can see that this is where MindMed is really committing funds towards mental health issues. I really like this slide because it shows how they have some data-driven technology, and just based on some of the images that they're showing here on the Apple Watch, the iPhone, and the iPad or the MacBook, tells me that there might be, if successful, maybe a subscription component where either the patient pays for using the app, or maybe it's coming from the doctors themselves because these apps and the software allows them to connect to their patients. So again, the whole idea behind this data-driven technology and this patient-centered care, I can really relate to that because it seems to be a growing trend in the healthcare industry. Again, COVID-19, obviously mental health has become a big issue. So I do think that's a very big driving factor. And same with telehealth, which I do think is going to give them a huge boost. And here's just a bit of the timeline that MindMed has had. And last but not the least, this is where I got the value for how much money they've raised over the lifetime of this company itself. And as we go through their scientific advisory board, so this isn't just a company that's just coming out with the drug stating facts. They are backed by these amazing researchers and doctors, and really the frontline staff and the clinicians, as well as some professors, I believe, and data scientists. So there's a lot of some brain power involved in this. And then MindMed has been in the news lately, and this is actually no lie. So let me just go to their website and go through their press releases to tell you exactly what I mean to say. This is the MindMed website, and if you go to their press release section, you can see that let me just scroll down just into this year, so 2021. Just within 2021, you can see that they've had multiple press releases. So really, it tells me that if you're investing in this company, they're not just making announcements about a public offering or maybe some progress in the research that they've had, and just blindsiding their investors and not responding or not releasing any news for maybe a couple of months or maybe even for the entire quarter. So I do think that by having all these news releases, some of them are not nice. I mean, you can see that some of them are really diluting the shareholders, but they're very transparent. And this tells me that this company really cares about their investors. And this isn't just about 2021. I mean, if you keep scrolling down, and if I keep hitting this button of load more, you can see that they have had multiple news releases. And again, this is a very positive sign from a healthcare company especially. So why did the stock go up? Well, if it's not clear by now, the Nasdaq Uplisting really gave the stock a boost in its share price last Friday. This, along with strong results in the clinical trials, are bound to make any investor feel bullish about the stock. So you might be wondering, where do I see the stock going? Well, in the short term, I do expect a slight boost in the stock price, especially say on April 27th when the stock gets uplisted on Nasdaq. My end of the year evaluation for this company is honestly anywhere from 6 to 7 Canadian dollars per share. And if the phase 3 of the clinical trials go pretty well, I do expect it to be around the $25 to $30 mark, similar to Cassava Sciences trading under the ticker SAVA, S-A-V-A. If you haven't already seen the Cassava Sciences stock analysis video that it did a while ago, make sure to click the link in the top corner. And because of the therapeutic advancement that can be seen in both the research and the clinical trials, Once MindMed does gain FDA approval, I do expect the stock to be anywhere above 100 Canadian dollars per share. Now, obviously, anything above the 6 to 7 Canadian dollars per share prediction that I have is purely speculation. So I do suggest that you do your own due diligence and research behind the stock before you invest in it. Personally, I'll be buying more of the stock if it goes below $4 per share. All in all, I just want to say that it's been a great day for my fellow MindMed investors, but also for the people who've had the stock waiting on their watch list. This might just give you a little boost and help you with your decision making on whether or not to invest in the stock. Well, thank you all for watching this video. If you found this video to be helpful, make sure to click the like button. Also hit subscribe and the bell button beside it to be notified of the latest content on my channel. As always, feel free to share your insights as well as any recommendations you have in the comment box below. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.